with full coverage of the Auburn Tigers,
Touchdown, Auburn!
the Alabama Crimson Tide,
Off to the inside, intercepted Alabama. Touchdown!
and everything college and high school sports. Now, let's join Andy, Brett, Randy, and Luke for this edition of Sports Blitz Live.
Hello again, everyone, and good Tuesday evening. Welcome into this, the latest edition of Sports Blitz Live. I am Andy Graham alongside Jim Hardy. We'll be with you for the next couple of hours, taking your comments, taking your phone calls, talking about everything going on in the world of sports. It is obviously signing day eve. It is like Christmas Eve for college football junkies. We'll be talking about this and a lot, of course, bowl games going on. We've had I think about 7 or 8 bowl games so far, about 30 more to go.
That's right.
More than that, probably. We'll run down some of those if we have time, but we'd love to hear from you as always. 256-234-6221 is our number here. You can also dial us up on the Sports Blitz Facebook page or our YouTube page and comment away. We'll get to as many of those as we can throughout the show tonight. But, again, National Signing Day, early signing period, which has become the main signing period, will be tomorrow. And it's exciting to be having some prospects that for the last couple of years. We'll talk about that. Obviously, we're two Auburn guys tonight. Luke is out. He may, maybe we'll get him to call in if we can. He can fill us in on some Alabama issues that are Alabama signings. It looks like they're going to have another tremendous class. They just the one on top of the other that they've had for the last 15 years, it seems like. But Auburn finally getting into the mix a little bit, has a chance to have a really, really good class this year. Already got some commitments lined up that would already be a phenomenal class, but have some opportunities to add to it tomorrow that can make it over the top, put it into that, close to that, maybe even, dare I say, a top 5 class. We'll see what happens, but a lot to talk about. Jim, good to see you.
Man.
Merry Christmas to you, my friend.
Merry Christmas. It's like you said opening the show, it's for us older guys, not the kids, have Christmas Day. Tomorrow's Christmas Day for all of us football fans.
Absolutely.
We want to see what we get to unwrap, come 12 o'clock tomorrow, because a lot of these kids have already said they're going to sign at 9 and 10 and 11. So usually by midday, you got a lot of signatures on paper by then.
That's for sure. And a lot of those guys, the ones that we're talking about, right about that 10 o'clock mark.
Yep.
That's going to be, and hopefully on the Auburn Blitz tomorrow, we're going to have Malcolm Simmons with us after he signs.
Yeah.
So we'll be on the air at 12. So we'll be right in the middle of it when it's all happening there at 10 and 12 o'clock.
I know he said he was going to do it at Benjamin Russell at the gym.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he can have him a big fanfare and well deserved.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
No doubt about it. So we'll just get started with this tonight. I mean, Auburn got a bowl game with Maryland. Mm-hmm. Later, it was announced today that Tungavailoa is not going to play in that game. He's opting out.
That's very helpful.
Of that one. The backup quarterback will play. I think he's thrown about 8 passes this year.
That's really good.
Now Auburn's going to be missing DJ James. They're going to be missing Nehemiah Pritchett in the secondary.
Now from
Jalen Simpson, maybe.
From a number standpoint,
Marcus Harris.
Right now, the game was a 2-point favorite in Auburn's favor. What does that do to it now that Maryland has no quarterback? Does that kick it to 8?
I think it's got to bump it up some.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. I think if I was a bettor, I should have got in early.
Yeah, really. This is you talk about that's one of the things, I don't feel sorry for him. I don't feel sorry.
No.
But, I mean, think about trying to set a line for these bowl games.
Yeah.
That becomes a
tough.
nightmare.
Yeah.
But, hey, that's the chances you take. There's some other, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of flipping and flopping going on. So what's going on in Georgia right now, guys? I mean, the mass exodus is.
They said there was 20 or 21 that have transferred portaled.
And we're not talking about, I mean, a lot of them, of course, are backups, but we're talking about some big-time guys, too.
Oh, yeah. You got a couple of them that are very interested in signing on with Auburn.
One in particular.
One linebacker
well, a couple
in particular.
One linebacker and one secondary. I mean,
Yeah.
we're talking about a guy that and AJ Harris.
That's right.
From Phoenix City. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's a coincidence that Cam Coleman is, kind of all this stuff started kind of blowing up about Auburn, when he starts flipping from Texas A&M to Auburn.
Right.
We've talked about it so much. These guys want to play together, and they encourage one another.
That's what I was about to say. If you've ever seen these big classes come about for other teams, it's always like dominoes. Once one big one starts falling, the other kids are in the background going, I want to go play with them.
Yeah.
I don't want to play. I don't want to be the 1 5-star. I want to be over there with 4 or 5 of them.
Absolutely. And A.J. Harris was a 5-star last year.
That's right.
From Phoenix City. And he's been in Auburn this weekend, as well as Jamin Dumas Johnson.
That's correct.
Big time. I mean, massive linebacker.
Yes.
Middle linebacker.
They were saying he already had a 3rd-round NFL grade if he went out now.
He was in Auburn this weekend as well.
Right. Now, I heard some information today that when he came and made a visit, the entire coaching staff came out and met him as he came up, the whole coaching staff.
If I'd have been there, I'd have met him too. He's a guy, I mean, again, this is a guy that could really change the whole look of the defense.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you put him in the middle there and you put Eugene Asante around him, free him up to be on the outside.
And I think they said this guy was 250 pounds.
Yeah.
You talking about he also could walk up and play the end if he needed to, in certain schemes.
That's true.
Yeah.
He's
and
very
You know what his
versatile.
nickname is, right? Everybody calls him Pop.
Pop.
Because he'll knock the teeth out of your mouth.
Yeah, he will pop you.
Yeah.
So think about him and Asante.
Oh, goodness.
So a guy can dream, can't he?
That's right. Well, it is Christmas. We can hope until tomorrow and see what happens.
Dreams come true at
That's
Christmas, right? Isn't it?
I really
They're
believe there's
supposed to.
fixing to be a bunch of them come true tomorrow. I think some of those guys, just like him, that's on the fringe, you're going to see some of those guys jump on board. And it's going to be the domino effect. Once they start seeing these other 4s and 5s go ahead and sign that line, they're going to go, I want to go play there.
Right.
Because it's also a playing opportunity.
Yeah, it is. And
He's going to play right away.
it's funny, I mean, you have this happen. You're on both sides of this if you're around long enough. You've seen a class a promising class fall apart. You've seen a class that you didn't think was going to be like Auburn in the last year. We were talking about, or the previous year, when Brian Harsin was let go.
Ooh.
But we were in the 60s, and then all of a sudden you hire a guy like Hugh Freeze, and he comes in, and all of a sudden the class turns into a 19 class.
Right.
Which,
And that's just piecing it together.
and that's just kind of piecing it together.
Yeah.
So I kind of did some numbers, and we'll talk about those a little bit later for the show on the weekday show, the Auburn show. And it's so bizarre, living in college football today.
Right.
Like the senior years ago, like the 2021 recruiting class, that would be your seniors this upcoming year.
Right.
Okay, for Auburn.
Right.
And that would be your senior class. That would be the one you depended on.
Right.
That would be the one that you would looked at, and that would be your your starters. Basically, I mean, that would be basically your 22 starters, and maybe your 44 starters. You know, 2 deep on both sides.
Right.
The 2021 class for Auburn University. You know how many are left playing?
Gosh.
Are on the team. Let's just say
on the team. Yeah, I mean, on the team, 6 or 8.
1.
Wow.
Jarquez Hunter.
Wow.
That's it. That's the list. Now, I mean, and to be perfectly honest, the only ones that really contributed were Jarquez Hunter and the guys we got from the portal.
That's correct.
Marcus Harris.
Yep.
Iku Leota, Donovan Kaufman, still there, doing good things. Demetrius Robertson, we got him from Georgia for 1 year. He was fine. T.J. Finley.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I look at that list, all those guys are gone.
That's right.
It's just it's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean,
that has to make you ponder, though, just a little bit and think, who recruited that class and how in the world did they miss on all that? Like, we also know if we sign a top 5 tomorrow, which I feel really confident it's going to be 7 to 5, somewhere in that area, once a few guys flip. How many of those is a projected number that's really going to hit the field, like what you're seeing here? If we sign 21 tomorrow, let's say, how many of them are really going to truly contribute? 50%, 70%? Because you're not going to hit on everyone. Nobody does.
And you factor in, 5 of those guys are, at least 5 of them will transfer out.
Right. Oh, yeah. I mean, just like what you're seeing now with Georgia and some of these other schools. Georgia's recruited all these 4s and 5s where they've realized now who's going to play. They've realized Beck's going to be the starting quarterback, so everybody under him said, hey, I'm going somewhere else.
If Beck stays.
No, he says he's staying. It was announced yesterday he was coming. Yeah, he's going to stay.
Now, did he?
Yeah, he did. It was official.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he was staying.
Okay, well.
And then you saw their number 1 recruit took off to Nebraska.
I know.
Yeah.
That's
the new world you live in.
Another crazy. We got, I mean, but just the fact that Carson Beck was contemplating leaving.
Right.
I don't understand the world.
The only explanation I can come up with as a fan is looking at it from the money side. A lot of these guys are doing the money play where they say, well, Coach Smart, I think I'm going to go. Oh, well, Carson, don't go. Let us give you another $1 million on top of the one you already got, and stick around. They're playing the franchise markets, just like NFL guys.
I guess so. We're up against our first break. We'll be back with more of Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Sportz Auto Sales, Highway 280 in Kellyton, Alabama, is home-owned and home-operated. If you're looking for tires, they have it. If you're looking for a vehicle, they have them. Great selection. Always out looking for more just for you, the customer. And if you're looking for service, whether you buy the vehicle from them or whether you buy the vehicle somewhere else, they do service work and got a great crew there. Keep us in mind. Why don't you go by Sportz Auto Sales on Highway 280 in Kellyton today.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro continues to excel in making sure our clients have a smooth and pleasant experience with home financing needs. Families are struggling to make ends meet due to price increases and high interest rates on credit cards. Monthly debt can cripple a family from enjoying the special times in life. Property values are holding strong, and now is the time to take advantage of the equity in your home, saving hundreds of dollars a month. No money out of pocket and no payment until January 2024. Call the Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro today.
Hello, I'm Karen Chanel, your State Farm agent in Alexander City, Alabama, and the greater Lake Martin area. I want to talk to you a little bit today about your discounts. How many of you are entitled to discounts that you may or may not be receiving? One of the easiest discounts on your homeowner's insurance is that of having a fire extinguisher. Coupled with a deadbolt lock and a smoke alarm, that gives you an automatic discount on your homeowner's policy.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Jim here with you, just getting started on tonight's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. We are brought to you each and every Tuesday evening by JR Sports Bar and Grill, celebrating 25 years here in the local market in downtown Alexander City. Great place to get a great meal, great atmosphere, great people, just a tremendous business there, and been there for 25 years and looking for 25 more. JR's Sports Bar and Grill. We appreciate their support and always have. They are one of the first and always have supported our programming throughout the years. We got Brett Pritchard on the line. Brett, we had a question or we had a comment talking about the reclassification and what Prattville is about to go through. Being in a really tough region, you would know the most about that. Just kind of talk a little bit about the reclassification of high school football here in Alabama.
Guys, this is a big week all the way around, and yesterday was as big as tomorrow is for college as it is for high school yesterday. And high school reclassification, everybody sits on the edge of their seats. There's a lot of schools that are teetering on either moving up a class or coming down a class, and a lot of times it's those schools that want to move down a class so they can be the largest in the class. You don't want to be one of the smallest in your class, and a lot of teams, a lot of schools. Benjamin Russell has had to endure that over the last 20 years for the most part, because it's just where the numbers set and where they end up being. And yesterday, it took a while for them to hammer everything out. And, in 7A football, there's just so many teams that you can operate with. And there's only 4 regions. So, you don't really have many options when you deal with this as far as travel and proximity. And, Prattville was in the Region 2 the last 2 years with Auburn and Phoenix City and Enterprise, those type teams, Dothan, which is a rough region itself. I would equivalent that to the SEC East. But they got moved to the SEC West in this reclass with Hillcrest, Tuscaloosa moving up, Hewitt-Trussville, Hoover, Thompson, Tuscaloosa County, Vestavia, and Oak Mountain. And I think probably what Tony was referring to is how much or how far Prattville has fallen in the last 15 years. We talked about it on the show today, and we have a good friend that's part of the AHSAA network, Stacy Mills, that is big into Prattville football as anybody, and he's been their producer on their broadcast for years. And, it wasn't that long ago, early 2010, 11, 12, that Prattville was a dominant force in the state along with Hoover, and great coaches like Bill Clark and Jamie Dubose coaching that program, and you've seen what they've been able to move on and do, and it's just a little bit shocking, that you look up in 2023 and you look at that region and you would say maybe outside of Oak Mountain, Prattville would probably finish or be predicted to finish last in that region, and there's a lot of factors to that. Coaching changes, one of them. Students moving in and out, new schools around you, the way players move, just a lot of different factors. And so Prattville is going through a time that they're not accustomed to. And when you're in a region like theirs, it makes it really tough to try to come back.
How do they figure is it, do they follow some formula as far as changing the regions? How do they do that? Figure out which team goes where?
Well, there's only 4 regions in 7A.
I'm just talking about in all class, like in 6A, or I know Benjamin Russell.
There's a formula. It's the average daily enrollment.
Okay.
20 days out after Labor Day. So you count your students every day for 20 days out after Labor Day, and you divide it by 20, and you come up with that number, and that's your average daily enrollment. And then it's done starting in 7A football, with Hoover being the largest in the state with 2,200. They go down 32 teams, and the 32nd largest team in the state's Florence. I think they have about 1,094 students. So you see the discrepancy even there with Florence all the way to Hoover. But then you take the next group of teams and you create 6A. And, that's just how it falls. And, if you're a private school, it's that number times 1.35, which is a multiplier, because private schools can use funding and they can bring in students that don't necessarily live in the district or whatever. So they have that opportunity. So they make them add that multiplier in. So really, Briarwood just dropped down to 5A. They've been in 6A. But in reality, they're the size of probably a 3A school. So, but that's just part of it. That's the formula that the AHSAA adopted years ago.
I get the method for the formula for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7A like that. But in regions, like, for instance, I got a good buddy of mine that his kids play at Rehoboth High School, South Alabama.
Right.
Well, they have just noticed that this year they've been put up here with Wetumpka, Elmore County, Stanhope. How does a group that's 2 hours away get put into this group?
It's tough. I mean, really, when you look at it, Jim, it's kind of Rehoboth is the odd man out because there are no 6A teams down there around them.
No.
And you got to put them in some region. And so the closest region for Rehoboth is Wetumpka, in Stanhope and Russell County, Pike Road, Percy Julian, Park Crossing. There's just no teams in the. You've got Dothan High School, which is a 7A team.
Right.
But they're down in the far east corner of Alabama, almost into Florida and Georgia. So it's just there's going to be schools that, and you use a good example, like a Rehoboth, that are going to have long road trips based on their geographic location.
Right.
It's tough, but I'm sure they try to make it and balance it out as far as competitiveness too, to try to make it each region as competitive as they can.
Well, they do. I mean, it took about 3.5 hours yesterday, and you know what? That wasn't their first time meeting, obviously, the Central Board of Control. But it took them about 3.5 hours to settle on everything. And, they have to take all of this into effect. And, they're trying to be as fair as possible, and they're trying to do the best by the schools, and they're trying to look at travel expenses and, all of that stuff has to come into it. And it's not going to be perfect. You look at Benjamin Russell. The region stayed the same for the most part. Spain Park dropped down from 7A to 6A. They're in Benjamin Russell's region. They have Pelham, Helena, Chilton County, Chelsea, and Calera. Chelsea dropped down from 7A to 6A. So, really, if you look at it, going to be moved into that region that we just talked about, where Rehoboth is, where you play Stanhope, Wetumpka, Pike Road, so on and so forth. So Benjamin Russell, in its own sense, is kind of an outlier. Sitting over here in Tallapoosa County, you know, all those teams I just rattled off are really Birmingham area teams. And Benjamin Russell, you know, has to probably the furthest to travel of any of those. So, you know, it's just the way it lays out. And, again, there's no perfect system, so this is what we have.
Brett, really appreciate the update, and looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Going to be a lot of fun. I know you guys are going to talk more about it the rest of the night. And looking forward to having Malcolm with us tomorrow after he signs, and let him give his take on this class. Should be a fun show. Absolutely.
Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we got to take another break. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hillaby Towers is an affordable senior citizens community located in Alexander City on Highway 22 East. Spacious one-bedrooms are available now. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today to find out more information on Alexander City's best-kept secret, 256-329-0552. That's Hillaby Towers in Alexander City.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
Satterfield Outdoor Living is Lake Martin's trusted friend for your outdoor land and leisure needs. We're the region's authorized Skag mower dealer for residential and commercial lawns and offer all the small engine accessories you need. With top lines of Steel, Echo, Shindaiwa, Husqvarna, and Metabo products that can tame any landscape. Satterfield is also your grill headquarters with Big Green Egg Grill. And our pros service everything in-house and back up all sales. Get the Satterfield Outdoor difference on Highway 280 right across from Tallapoosa Ford.
You want the best opportunity to be successful in life. You deserve that opportunity. Well, you just happens to be in our motto. Central to you, central to your success. Your future is right now. Don't wait. Make your dreams a reality by enrolling at Central Alabama Community College. Register today at cacc.edu.
Alex City Internal Medicine and Nephrology and Weight Loss Center provides optimum care for the whole person. Dr. Dimo Popov specializes in the prevention and diagnosis of high blood pressure, kidney disease, diabetes, and acute and chronic conditions. Our weight loss clinic offers lipo shots and a guide to healthy weight loss. Alex City Internal Medicine and Nephrology and Weight Loss Center, where lifestyle changes are made.
Black Friday deals are here all month long at Opa Like a Ford. Get 3.9% for 60 months on all new 2023 Ford F-150s or 1.9% for 60 months on 2023 Ford Edges. Only at Opa Like a Ford. Black Friday deals are here all month long at Opa Like a CDJR. Get 2.9% financing for 72 months on new Ram 1500 or 15% off MSRP on new Jeep Compass. Only at Opa Like a CDJR.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Jim here with you. About 30 more minutes left in the first hour of tonight's program. Get your call in, 256-234-6221, if you got any thoughts on the recruiting for tomorrow. Whatever your favorite team is, tell us about what you think your recruiting class is going to look like, what you hope to see from that. We'll just start out here with the baseline. I'm going off the 24/7 composite because it's they take the ESPN On3, the 24/7 rivals, and they compile it all together, average it out, and this is kind of what they come up with on these kids. So Georgia right now, again, you see all these guys leaving Georgia. Well, I mean, don't feel sorry for Georgia. They're the number one class yet again. So they've got 27 commits coming in right now. At least that's what it is out tonight. You got to take all this recruiting with kind of a grain of salt. It's a fluid situation. It can change. Just ask Florida. It can change in a heartbeat. Florida, I think, had the number 3 class about 2 or 3 days ago. Now they got the number 10 class, and they're looking maybe even drop further than that. So
now here, before you go any further, here's a question for you. If they drop, let's just say, because Auburn's in the running for a couple of their kids.
Yeah.
I think Alabama's in the running for a couple of their kids. Georgia's has offered one of them. If they drop and they fall out of, say, 15, down in that 20-ish, is Billy gone in January? Because that's all that was holding him together from what I heard. He was such a great recruiter.
Yeah.
And he had that top 5 class. They said, even though you had a bad year, we're going to let it slide because you had a good class.
That's a fair question. I think he's got next year.
Okay.
I do believe he's got next year to try to work it out, but this is not a good
step in the right direction.
Not a good step in the right direction.
There you go.
All right, Ohio State is second. Alabama's got another, and they've got 22 commits. They're going to sign even more tomorrow, and I'm sure a lot. They just got a defensive lineman from LT Overton from Texas A&M. That was was like, I think, the number 6 player in the country last year or 2 years ago when he signed with A&M, and so he's transferring out of A&M. Of course, get a new coach, you get a lot of transfers. Auburn's been a beneficiary of that.
Mm-hmm.
But, I think he just signed with or is announced he's transferring to Alabama. So they'll bump up. They may challenge for that number 1 spot. Florida State is 4th. Florida State, had a phenomenal year this year. Unfortunate they get left out of the playoff, but it is what it is. They've got a great class coming in. Texas, number 5. Miami, number 6. Oklahoma 7. Oregon 8. Notre Dame 9. Florida 10. Auburn 11 right now with 20 commits. Probably, I think they're going to lose Montravius Collins, I think is his name.
Yes, they
tight end.
Mutually departed ways.
Yeah, he's probably, so you can technically say probably Auburn's got 19 commits right now, but LSU with 27, that's pretty much wrapped up, their class.
Right. Well,
they're sitting there at 11. Though.
This is the part of recruiting, though, that people can get sideways if you don't really look at the numbers. They're kind of skewed because you got LSU sitting there at 12 with 27 commits. They've only put them that high because they got that many commits in the line. The real number that guys want to go out there and look at is the average overall per player.
Right.
When you start taking 91, 92, 93 per player, those are your classes that are fixing to do something. Anybody that's from 90 and below, their average player, they may have 1 5-star or 1 4-star, somewhere in there. But those guys that are throwing up those 90s, back in the days when you went to college and aced all your classes, those are the guys fixing to ace the class on Saturdays.
Yeah. You got Penn State at 13, Tennessee at 14, Clemson at 15, Michigan at 16, USC at 17, South Carolina 18, Texas A&M 19.
Now look at that.
Nebraska 20.
I'm going to catch you right there in that group.
That's
14, 15, 16. Tennessee, Clemson, Michigan. All those, how would you ever think those 3 would be that far down?
Yeah, Clemson has kind of fallen
and they got 90 on
notches.
an average of their commit. 90 is their score.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rounding out the SEC, Ole Miss is at 21, right outside the top 20. Missouri is at 24. Kentucky 26. Arkansas 29. Number 35 is Mississippi State. And now look at Vandy at 39.
Sneaking in there.
They usually have a class around in the 60s. So, Clark Lee doing. I mean, they lost pretty much everybody.
Better anchor down.
It seemed like they lost all their quarterbacks, or at least the two starters.
I think their best wide receiver left, went in the portal.
Yeah. So, but they're sitting there at 39, bringing in a really good class, an exceptional class.
Yeah.
For Vanderbilt. So, that's the baseline. It's going to be interesting to see. And we'll kind of compare this maybe on, Thursday for the Auburn Blitz. What would this look like tonight?
Correct.
What this lineup and what it's going to look like tomorrow.
Yeah, because you're currently sitting there, Alabama showing 3 5-stars. Well, we know what one of those 5-stars are. And we're sitting here hoping that it takes our number 2 up to a 3.
This is true.
Because that's one of theirs.
That is absolutely correct. And that may not happen tomorrow, though.
Oh, no.
That's going to,
it's going to happen on his birthday is when
he
it's gonna happen.
says that he's going to, wait and sign in February. And, we'll see if that happens or if he surprises everybody and does something tomorrow.
Right.
Signs with Alabama, signs with Auburn, signs with somebody else.
I think, as I said it earlier in the show, when dominoes fall, he's waiting for the dominoes to fall. If Coleman, Thompson, Kane, Simmons, all these boys he's been partying with for the last month, coming to every Auburn game down there hanging out, front row of the basketball games, that you don't run from that.
Crowd cheering for you.
There you go.
The entire crowd.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens. And here's another thing, too, that's new. I mean, relatively, obviously new in recruiting. It's not just about, it's not just about relationships anymore. It's not. That's still a big part of it. But now we're talking about, how much is this guy getting offered?
Correct.
What you gotta factor in.
That's what I
the
wanted
financial benefits of it now.
At some point, that's what also a guy's got to sit down and look at. Not only are your recruiting coordinators out there doing that, but guys like me and you at the house have got to start figuring out what is Auburn's number they're working with.
Yeah.
Is our budget.
And how are you spreading it around?
There you go. Because if you're out there buying up these NIL $300,000 and $400,000
which
receivers,
is, by the way, not the way NIL is supposed to work.
No.
But that's the way it works.
It is 100% working that way.
Yeah.
So if On to Victory is out there and they got a checklist and they can go, we can give Hugh for Christmas 5 wide receivers and they all cost $250 each. Well, you obviously lost you over $1 million there.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can only build with so many pieces, and eventually, you don't have unlimited resources of money.
And Butch Thompson is, Butch Thompson's sitting there saying, "I've been dealing with this forever." Trying to divvy up scholarships this way.
Yeah.
Every baseball coach has been saying that.
Yeah, and you got to know
guys
like Perry Thompson and Kane and that bunch. They kind of know what they're worth because they've been told by several schools across the country, hey, if you come to Ohio State, we'll give you $250. If you come to Tennessee, we'll give you $200. They kind of know their number. I think the number moves the needle with them just a little bit is if it's out of line, like if on signing morning, Alabama calls up Perry and says, "Hey, I know you flipped, but you flipped for $250. Here's $350. Oh, coach, I'll be over there Monday."
Yeah,
that can very well happen tomorrow morning.
Sure.
Yeah,
no doubt. Got to take another break. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, You have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
This is Joseph Dean with Alabama Funeral Homes. As many of you are aware, we had a fire that significantly damaged our facilities. We were in the process of getting those rebuilt. We apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused the families that we serve. I want you to know that we are capable of handling all of your needs at Frederick Dean Funeral Home of Opelika, which will be servicing Alabama Funeral Homes families. We can be reached at our same number, 256-896-4502, or by email at joseph@alabamafuneralhomes.com.
You've dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense. Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
Frontline Outfitters provides all your aftermarket parts for your cars, trucks, and as well as your professional tinting solutions for auto, residential, and commercial building. Frontline Outfitters also handles vinyl wraps, spray-in bed liners, truck accessories, LED lighting, paint correction and detailing, and much more. Make sure Frontline Outfitters of Alexander City is your first call for tinting and aftermarket solutions. Call us today, 256-409-8100.
Hillaby Towers is an affordable senior citizens community located in Alexander City on Highway 22 East. Spacious one-bedrooms are available now. Great location, peaceful setting, comfortable living where pets are allowed and utilities are included. Call today to find out more information on Alexander City's best-kept secret, 256-329-0552. That's Hillaby Towers in Alexander City.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Jim here with you, talking about recruiting. Obviously, National Signing Day tomorrow. We've said that. We've kind of run down, giving you a baseline here of where, the top 20 classes in the country, where Auburn stands, where Alabama stands, where the SEC kind of is. The pecking order is, and we always talk about that. Look, Auburn has, and we cover Auburn obviously, but Auburn in the past, has had, top 15 classes, which is great,
right?
As far as the rest of the country is concerned, but when you're like 15th or 12th or whatever in the SEC, and you're in the SEC, you're like 6th or 7th in the SEC. So being 15th is nice, but in this conference, and it's about to get, and look, where is Texas? 5. Where is Oklahoma? 7. That's your new buddies in the SEC. So where are you in that pecking order? If you really want to take a big jump forward, you got to be in the top 5 when you finish up. Can Auburn get there? They're number 11 right now, and that's in the composite, like you said. I mean, certain services have them in the top 10 already.
Right.
Okay. You got 2 5-stars. Where was Auburn really lacking this past year?
It's pretty obvious.
Wide receiver.
Couldn't catch the ball to save our life.
Cam Coleman comes over from Phoenix City. Perry Thompson from Foley. You got Mr. Malcolm Simmons, the new recently crowned four-star.
That's right.
With 24/7 from Elliott City, and Bryce Kane. There's your 2 5-stars, 2 4-stars, and there's a Ryan Williams, big fish, swimming out there as another 5-star.
Now, here's a way to size up that group and think about it. You got 4 sitting there right now that you're really confident all of them is going to sign by 10 o'clock tomorrow, 11. With that group sitting there, put Williams on top of that group. Is that the greatest class of wide receivers in the country this year?
I think those 4 that Auburn has committed right now is the greatest wide receiver class Auburn has ever signed.
Correct. But I'm saying the nation.
If you put Ryan Williams with that, I think it's the greatest wide receiver class ever signed, yes.
Okay. Oh, ever. I'm just saying for their season.
No, I'm saying ever.
Wow. Okay. That's pretty stout because that's 3 5-stars and 2 4-stars.
And one of those, I don't know about Bryce Kane. I know that he is super fast.
Right.
But if I know Michael Simmons, they've got him listed as a 4-star.
Right.
He plays like a 5-star.
Right.
So,
because typically, what is the numbers? Is it 30? Only the top 30 players in the country can be a 5-star.
Yeah.
Anybody past that? So they really ran out of room. He could have, like you said, been there. There's just other players that are more talented in other areas.
You got other guys like Jamonta Waller that are, they are like right there on the edge.
Right.
And Joseph Phillips for that matter.
Yeah.
You got guys that just, they're right on the border. There's just not enough room.
Right.
To put those, somebody's got to be a high 4-star. So it's basically the same thing. And look, let's be honest. There's a 3-star in this lineup. There's a 3-star somewhere in the country that's going to outplay all these guys.
Right.
That's just the way this works. There's a lot of 3-stars out there. Doesn't mean they're bad players.
No.
They're just projected not to be maybe immediate impact players.
Yeah, you have a lot of them that are not as skillful in certain areas. Like you're talking about a 4-star receiver in Kane. He may be super fast. We may have another 3-star guy we're after. He's fast, but he doesn't have the hands that Kane's got, or they'll be missing some type of element of their game that'll bump them to that 3.
Yeah.
But I've always seen
maybe
those
5'8".
kids. Right. Those kids have a chip on their shoulder that goes, hey, you didn't make me a 5-star. I'm going to show you what a 5-star is. Yeah. And like you said, they outwork everybody on the field.
Yeah.
That's the kids that show up.
Absolutely. This Auburn class, it feels that it not only is much better than the ones that they've had, like Brett ran this down today, but 2021, Auburn, 0 top 100 recruits, 4 top 300. 2022, 0 top 100 recruits, 4 300. Last in the 2023 class, 1 top 100 recruit, 7 top 300 recruits. So in the last 3 years, previous 3 years, Auburn had 1 top 100 recruit, and overall they had 15 top 300 recruits.
Mm-hmm.
In this class right now, Auburn has 5 top 100 recruits and 9 overall top 300 recruits. Hugh Freeze has done some work.
Oh, ain't no doubt.
And for that, I'm going to take a break. And we'll be back with more of Sports Blitz Live right after this.
It's truck season at AHSAA Automotive. New Honda Ridgelines, $349 a month. Ford Rangers, $357 a month. Nissan Frontiers, $379 a month. And Chevrolet Silverados, $399 a month. At AHSAA Automotive. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty, no charge, engine, powertrain, and more. It's truck season at AHSAA Honda, Tony Serra Ford, Serra Nissan, and Serra Chevrolet.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritoons, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com. You don't have to ask who, what, or why. Who's Diner is the go-to place for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Conveniently located at the corner of Highway 22 and 280 in Alex City. Who's Diner offers the best meals and the best deals in town. Try our fresh, made-from-scratch pancakes, chicken salad, Philly cheesesteak, or the Who Burger. It doesn't get any better than who? Who's Diner, of course, on the corner of Highway 22 and 280. Who's hungry?
Main Street Family Urgent Care.
Main Street Family Care offers a wide array of services that allows them to treat many conditions, and they also offer primary care. In addition to these services, they also offer DOT physical exams, lab testing, sports physicals, and vaccines. They accept most major insurance plans, including Medicaid. Main Street Family Care opens 7 days a week.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Lay your best to rest. Call the best. Lewis Pest Control.
Lewis Pest Control is now serving Alexander City and the entire Lake Martin area. They've been family-owned and operated for over 60 years. Whether it's residential, commercial, or industrial, Lewis has environmentally safe products for all your pest control needs. Lewis Pest Control.
Lay your best to rest. Call the best. Lewis Pest Control.
Let Riverbank and Trust open doors for you. Whether you're purchasing land, a lot by the lake, or building or buying a home, begin with Tallapoosa County's loan experts. They'll guide you through the entire process, providing local decision-making, prompt responses, and the best real estate loan solutions for your unique needs. And in most cases, Riverbank and Trust can close your loan in 30 days or less, and they'll walk by your side every step of the way. It's all just part of the Riverbank and Trust difference. We invite you to experience it for yourself.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Jim here with you. One more segment in the first hour of tonight's program. It's flying by, Jim. This is, again, it's fun to talk about, and it's fun to look forward to tomorrow. We were talking about the Auburn class that it is constructed right now. And, again, so much is talked about these wide receivers. We have kind of beat this to death, and it's exciting, you know, to have this kind of talent come in and be an immediate impact in a quite honestly a position that was, you know, grossly underperformed for Auburn this past year. Mm-hmm. But there are guys in this class that they're going to get overshadowed because of this. You mentioned, we haven't even mentioned Walker White.
No.
The one quarterback that Auburn is bringing in that is, you know, kind of looked at, and he's the guy that Auburn, you know, has been committed to this class probably the longest. And, you know, he's the guy that's kind of galvanized.
He was original Clemson kid. They wanted him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He was headed to Clemson until Hugh Freeze came along, and, you know, he comes to Auburn, or he commits to Auburn. And he's all in from the very beginning, and he's kind of the one that is kind of, you know, been the guy that's pushed all these, you know, encouraged and kind of galvanized.
He was the guy that
all these other recruits.
Made a sweatshirt with all these kids' names on it and wore it to the ball game.
Absolutely, and you know, so a guy like T.J. Lindsey, he's right outside the top 300 at the number 307 player, and an edge rusher at another position of need.
Now, and that's what's another piece of this puzzle I was going to bring up to you. Look at the edges that are coming in. look at the D-line guys that you've got out there. Some you've already got on the field practicing now.
Malik Blockton, a kid that had a great Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game.
Yeah.
6'4", 275-pounder from Pike Road. He came – I saw – we saw him play against Benjamin Russell here in Alexander City in the backfield almost every play.
Mm-hmm.
And, this guy is going to practice in bowl practice.
Right.
Not only coming and graduating early, he's here at bowl practice, already moved into Auburn. So he's about to begin his time here. You read his interview. He made a great point. He said, look, I'm going to make mistakes because, I'm young, I'm learning. But when we get to fall practice, I'm already have gone through bowl practice. I'm already going to have gone through spring practice, and I'm going to be so far ahead of the guys. I'm going to be, 2 steps ahead. So he's got his head, a great head on his shoulders, knows what he wants, and that's a great guy to have in the class. You would imagine he could probably. They got him listed as a 3-star.
Oh, he could be 4 easy.
He could probably come in and compete and maybe even get playing time as a 3-star right off the bat here.
And you got as we were talking earlier, you got a couple waiting in the wings over there that you could possibly flip as well that are other D linemen. Then you start bordering on you're letting your wide receivers have overshadowed things, but you're building a pretty hell of a class here in this D line.
D line. And what do we always say? Offensive line, defensive line.
Yep.
That's where that's where the foundation is built. And you love to have the monster defensive line. That's how you dominate games.
Oh, ain't no doubt.
That's how Georgia's been doing it for the last 3, 4, 5 years since Kirby's been there. That's how Saban has done it for 15 years at Alabama. You bring in these guys that can rush the passer, create, matchups that are favorable for the defense. You stop the run. I mean, Georgia, it's amazing. Georgia's a team that does not have a lot of negative plays, but they have this way of constricting everything into about a 10-yard off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
they just keep everything right there, and it just gets tighter and tighter as the game goes along.
You can't coach speed. And that's what they try to do is build a defense with speed. So that hole that running back thinks he sees, it closes really fast.
Yeah.
I mean, really fast.
So you're talking about the edge rushers, but those defensive linemen in the middle.
Yep.
Those big
Nichols,
big strong linebackers, Nichols. All that speed. They not only have speed, they have power. They have size as well.
I mean,
those guys are kind of hard to find.
You're sitting here looking at the class as counting them down, and again, everybody's out there praising all these wide receivers, but you got 19 guys in this class. If I'm counting it right, there's 13 of them that we've got on the defense. We put a lot of work into the defensive side of the football.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not out there just throwing passes. They've got some boys in here can play.
Well, quite frankly, we're going to need them, and look, these guys are going to be young next year. Auburn right now through the transfer portal already they've got 2 guys committed. Gage Keys, another guy coming over from Kansas. The last guy from Kansas we got was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought
and
so.
Marcus Harris.
Oh yeah.
So Gabe Keys. Keys.
If I'm understanding it right, Gage he's a 1-year deal.
I think so, yeah.
But he's a grown man. Like he's already been through the fire. And
he's an odd guy in that I think he started out at Minnesota and I think he played there 2 years and never got on the field. Went to Kansas and I think he had a little contribution his first year there. Had a monster year this year. They were planning on building their defensive line around him, and of course, then he leaps to Auburn, which we're glad to have him because we're going to need a few. We're going to need some transfer portal guys to to kind of bolster some things until these younger guys can really, come on and find their way.
Well, and then you got that one outlier to me sitting down there. You went out and got a wide receiver from Georgia State, 5'11", 185. Makes you wonder what they saw in him. Because
70 catches for 800 yards, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, still, if you're Georgia State, you're 5'11", you've just gone out and you're about to have 5 brand new receivers coming in, and there's several good receivers in the portal. Why did you jump on that one so fast?
I think a guy that,
because he's a consistent pass catcher.
I think he's a piece. They don't have anybody close to anything like that. They need some leadership.
Yeah.
In that room.
Now that could be that.
Javaris Johnson's in the portal.
Right.
That was your leadership guy.
Right.
You got Jay Fair coming back. You got Rivaldo Fairweather coming back. Those two guys can be good mentors.
So it was going to be 10 total we were going to put in that room, right?
That sounds right to me. It sounds good to me.
So you got some pieces in. If you sign all these ones that we're looking at here and the one that's already come in the portal, you're looking at a whole new a wide receiver squad next year.
Yeah, you're looking at a whole new team again. And Hugh Freeze, we'll talk about maybe your thoughts on Peyton Thorne. It sounds like Hugh Freeze, that's his guy now.
Yep.
He says he believes in him. He feels like he's the guy.
And I've never looked that far back, but what was Peyton, do you think, coming out of high school? Was he a 4-star guy?
He was either a 4 or 3. I'm not sure.
Okay, well, you've got sitting behind him a high 4-star in
Walker White.
No, not Walker White. Gurner.
Oh, Gurner.
Gurner's a high 4. Then you got Walker White's a high 4. So the quarterback room's pretty talented.
Sounds
promising.
Sounds promising.
Sounds like it'd be a good Christmas tomorrow.
Yes, it does. All right, we got to take another break, but never fear, we'll be back with hour number 2 of Sports Blitz Live right after these messages.
Truckloads of new and used models. Over 200 on the ground or on the way to Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Check out the powerful new Chevrolet Silverado 4-wheel drive crew cabs. Discounted up to $12,250 off. The best-selling and well-equipped new Chevrolet Equinox. Discounted up to $6,000 off. Enjoy no payments till springtime.
Get your best price every day at Glenn Smith Chevrolet on the lot or online at glennsmith.com. Get ready to smile.
The coast is here. Wharf Casual Seafood is serving up all your favorites: shrimp and grits, po' boys, tacos, seafood platters, and so much more. Don't miss out on our famous loaded fried green tomatoes. Wharf Casual Seafood is located on Highway 280 next to Regions Bank.
The Alabama Slammer. It's a popular drink at parties, but drink too many and you'll wind up in this Alabama Slammer. And if you drink and drive, get ready for a real Alabama Slammer. If you're involved in a crash where a driver's been drinking, you're 4 times more likely to die.
Drive safe, Alabama. A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
There's only one clear choice in the Lake Martin area for plumbing, heating, and air. That's All Clear Plumbing and Air. Our professionally trained technicians offer full service repair and installation on all major brands. From drips to water heaters, thermostats to entire air conditioning and heating systems, and everything in between. Our fast, reliable, and guaranteed top-notch customer service will keep you informed and up to speed through the entire process. Call us today or look for us on Facebook and Instagram at All Clear Plumbing and Air, 256-496-2056. License number 19172.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
I'm Jimmy Goree with Goree's Furniture. We would like to invite you to come shop our huge selection of furniture. But if you don't have time, we have over 2,000 items you can have shipped directly to your home. Go to GoreesFurniture.com, look for 48-hour quick ship. Shop, click, ship, it's just that easy. You can shop us here, or you can shop us online, only at Goree's Furniture.
Your express way to saving.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy Graham and Jim Hardy here with you. One more hour to go in tonight's show. Give us a call, 256-234-6221, or dial us up on the Sports Blitz Facebook page. That's Sports with a Z. Luke commented. Look, we miss you, Luke. Give us a call, Luke, and tell us about
tell us who Alabama's not going to get. Just call them.
Look, I know it's going to be another phenomenal Alabama class. You can call and inform us about that, because I would, I'd love for you to be here to talk about it, but you'd like to take the night off on occasion. Some of these guys that are floating out there, look, I mean, the biggest fish that everybody's talking about, Ryan Williams.
That's right.
What is he going to do? He said from Saraland. If you watch the Saraland Clay Chalkville state championship game,
he was the man.
My goodness, I mean, you just saw he is an elite.
Well, I mean, for that matter,
the elite of the elite.
For that matter, if you just watch the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game, the man was the MVP.
Yeah.
Of the best of the best.
The best of the best, no doubt. So, he says that he did reclassify to 2024 class, and so he says he's going to wait and commit sign in February. He is committed to Alabama. He has been committed to Alabama for a while, but all these guys, you can tell they are enjoying this experience.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's the king of the.
Well,
he's the king of the state.
Put yourself in his shoes, wouldn't you? I would enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Take every visit you can take. Let them buy all the steaks they want to buy you. Enjoy every minute of it.
Absolutely. And for that matter, all these guys, and that's fine, and that's great, and good for them for doing it. KJ Bolden, it's a guy that's been committed to Florida State. Says Florida State's his dream school. He chose them, and committed them about a month ago, I guess it was.
Did you notice something, too? I just now popped in my head where Bolden is from. That Buford, Georgia. Is that not where Riola just went to school, too, in Buford, Georgia, the one that left Georgia?
Yeah.
The one that number one recruit in the country?
I think so,
He moved from California to Buford to play for Georgia because he was going to be an hour away from Athens.
Correct.
That's two top-tier five-star talents that's in Georgia's backyard and didn't go to Georgia.
And then he goes to Nebraska.
Right.
Yeah. So
what's in the water in Buford, Georgia?
That's a good question. Some other guys that are floating around out there, the Florida, class, like you said, been kind of falling apart here. L.J. McCray and Amaris Williams, one from Daytona Beach, one from Clinton, North Carolina.
I know we've been giving a lot of pub to the wide receiver class, but look, you got a 4-star edge in Waller. You've got a 4-star edge in Lindsey. You've got, as we talked about, Blockton. You talked about Nicholas. If you flip these two guys that are on this list right here, a 5 and a 4, we may be talking about the best defensive line in the country.
No.
I mean, Andy, it could be a big Christmas tomorrow.
Yeah, it could be very, very. It's going to be profitable for somebody.
There's no doubt.
But I don't know where these kids end up. I know Bolden and McCray, Williams, Eccles are all. I think Eccles is going to wait and commit on his birthday.
That's correct. Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
But those other three, Bolden, McCray, and Williams are all going to commit tomorrow. Williams, more than likely, waits till February.
Right.
So we'll be talking about him for quite a bit more.
Williams says his birthday.
He could surprise us.
As well. He says February 9th.
He could surprise somebody tomorrow. I don't know, but we'll see.
Wouldn't that be, I mean, that'd just be another Christmas surprise.
Oh.
Get all your receivers, and he waits to the end of the day and goes, you know what, my 4 buddies are already there. I'm going to go ahead and do it too. Then imagine the phone call you'll get from Lou.
Yeah, really.
Wait a minute.
We may see.
Uh-oh.
Hey, caller, you're on Sports Blitz Live.
Hey guys, it's Luke. We wanted to know over at Robinson Iron how big of a trophy case y'all want us to build for you.
I've
never heard such.
You better make it a big one.
I mean, look, Auburn's got a good class. There is no doubt in my mind. They've got a really good class. Should be happy about it, and that's great. I mean, it's good. Welcome back to the world because Auburn hadn't been recruiting like this, and it's good. It's good for the state. And it's good for the SEC. But, there's still some pretty good classes out there, too.
I know. I just don't know anything about them. That's why I wanted you to call in.
That's why I had to call in because we can only hear how good your class is so many times, but somebody else has to call in, I think. But, yes, I think that, it's going to be interesting. By the way, Dylan Riola did transfer to Buford. From Phoenix, actually. I think he was somewhere in Phoenix, Arizona. And so he has a familial tie to Nebraska. His dad played there. He was like one of the most famous players in Nebraska history, I think, at least on the offensive line. And then his uncle is on the staff there. So, I mean, it's not crazy that he leaves Georgia, but it tells you a little bit about how good Georgia's class was, that they lose what some people believe to be the number 1 quarterback in the country, and they still have the number 1 class. I mean, that's
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Luke. Just the fact, we were talking about this earlier, just the fact that the Georgia, what's his name, the Georgia quarterback now?
Carson Beck.
Carson Beck, just the fact that he contemplates leaving and transferring, do you think that's like Jim said, that's a ploy for more money? Or is it, what world do we live in now?
I think that's going to be the world. And I'm going to tell you something here. Heavy is the crown, right? And so Georgia now is dealing with that. And that's one thing that I've been so impressed with Nick Saban these many years, that it's one thing to get to the top. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Auburn's having a fantastic class, and this class is going to really bolster them up, and it's going to increase expectations, and it should. But then what about next year? Because what if Kerry Thompson goes off, and what if Cam Coleman feels like he doesn't get enough playing time? Or what if Bryce Kane has a great year, but Malcolm Simmons doesn't feel like he has enough playing time? I'm not meaning to call anybody out. I'm just doing hypotheticals.
No, that's going to happen. That's going to happen.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, once you get good players in your system, they can go one of two ways. I mean, look at Texas A&M. Texas A&M signed one of the best classes numbers-wise in terms of ranking ever 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. L.T. Overton has already left, and he's committed to Alabama. Walter Nolan from that same class is probably going to end up at Ole Miss. Fidel Diggs is now at Syracuse. He just committed. Evan Stewart, who I think is, I just think he's awesome. I think he's fantastic. I think he's got like Julio Jones type potential. I really do. I think Evan Stewart is crazy good. He's in the portal. And I'm just, crossing my fingers every which way I can to hope that he goes to Alabama, because I think he's amazing. But what I'm saying is, all it takes is one little thing, and the house can fall down, and that's where Nick Saban's been the best. I mean, he's been, for the most part, been able to keep everybody there. Well, and even a guy like Elijah Pritchett, who went into the portal for like 24 hours, he comes back. I mean, it's tough to do that, and Georgia's dealing with a little bit of that right now. I mean, A.J. Harris, didn't get enough playing time. Maybe, some Georgia people say he didn't fit the system that well, whatever the reason is. He was a 5-star/4-star guy that's now in the portal that really good linebacker that they lost with the hyphenated name, whose name escapes me.
Dumas Johnson.
That's
yeah, they've got like 10 to 12 people in the portal.
I know.
And
they got
18, but the thing is, people are going to be. I mean, this is the new world. Now, I don't like it. I'm joking about it, but I'm telling you, I don't like it because I like it so much more when we can put our arms around a player and say, hey, Malcolm Simmons is from Alexander City, and he went to Auburn, and he's always loved Auburn, and he's just an Auburn guy through and through. Now, he may end his career there. I'm just being hypothetical here. But, I mean, I could say the same thing about Kevin Riley, who is from Tuscaloosa, who I think tomorrow will probably flip to Alabama. He's been committed to to Miami for months, but I think tomorrow he's going to flip to Alabama. And, I would love to hear the story about how he's always wanted to play for Alabama, and he just goes there for 4 years, and it's awesome. But, the reality is, in this day and age, you're probably just about as likely to transfer at least one time as you are to stay in school.
Yeah,
at least that's what it seems like.
Speaking of Alabama, they fall into that same category. Doesn't one of your great wide receivers, Burton, didn't he take off from Georgia and come to Alabama?
Well, Jermaine Burton came from Georgia 2 years ago. Jamison Williams came from Ohio State 3 years ago. Alabama's had some good. Jake Coker was, one of the OGs. One of the original transfers. Look, I'm not saying transfers don't happen to everybody. They do. What I'm saying is that the more good players you get, the harder it is to keep them all happy. And here's the other thing, that what I get worried about is now players are beginning to get in the portal just to say, I'm going to go get in and see what I'm worth.
That's right.
Now, I'm worried about it because I'm a fan. But if I'm a player and I'm a really good player, I might be like, hey, you can worry about it all you want to. I want to go get my check. And I understand what they're doing. I'm just saying, as a fan of the sport, I don't like it. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Can you hang on? Do you really? Do you want to talk about the Alabama class? We got to take a break. Can you come back and do that?
Oh, yeah.
All right. We got to take a break. We'll be back with more right after these messages.
Inspired by the bold bison, Southern Union students blaze new trails every single day. They press forward knowing their SU education will lead them to success. Affordable, accessible, and locally unparalleled. Whether you're transitioning to a university or launching straight into a lucrative career, a degree from SU SEC can help you blaze your path. 3 locations, dedicated faculty and staff, endless possibilities. It's all waiting for you at Southern Union. It's time to venture forward. Register today.
If you're tired of the same old and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
If you're looking for something to do in the Lake Martin area, you have to go to Liquor by the Lake. Liquor by the Lake is not only the best place to pick up your hard-to-find liquors and craft beers, there's a bar. An awesome bar serving up specialty cocktails and martinis. And the best bushwhacker and creamsicle drinks at Lake Martin. Make plans to come out for happy hour Fridays from 7 to 9 with half-price beer and cocktails. And there's live entertainment on Thursdays. You can even watch the Alabama and Auburn games and Sunday and Monday night football. Liquor by the Lake, located on Highway 49 in the Big Fish Complex near Stillwaters. Open at 1 every day but closed on Wednesday. Come see us.
They say we live in an age of big data, where computers and fancy algorithms are supposed to know you best. But at Country Financial, we know helping you own your future requires, well, something much bigger. Contact your local Country Financial representative and start planning for your future with a personal touch.
When you need an automotive hero, you got to call S&S Discount Tire Pros. With locations in Alexander City and Dayville, we are here to serve you today. From quick services like oil changes and tire rotations to in-depth automotive repairs such as suspensions, brakes, and tune-ups, S&S can take care of all your tire needs. You just have to focus on what's important and love the drive. Call S&S Discount Tire Pros today. We are automotive heroes, and we are here to serve you.
Truckloads Loads of fresh inventory are rolling into Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. Come see and drive the new full-size GMC Sierra 1500 trucks, discounted up to $13,500 off. And the roomy and stylish GMC Terrain, up to $6,700 off. Plus, enjoy no payments until springtime.
Get your best price every day at Glenn Smith GMC on the lot or online at glennsmith.com. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Blitz Live program. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us, Andy and Jim. Got Luke Robinson on the phone, going to talk about the Alabama recruiting class. Another great class coming in, just stacked one upon the other. What's the highlight of the class so far, or what do you think is going to be the highlight of this class tomorrow, at least?
Well, I mean, my favorite player is Ryan Williams. I'm a big Ryan Williams guy. I'm very, very high on him. I think he's so much fun to watch, so dynamic, and I just like him a lot. But the highest rated player, at least on the consensus, is Julian Sayin, the quarterback out of California, who's already joined the team. He's already going through practice. So that's the cool thing, is they get to practice and go to the Rose Bowl and stuff like that, and that's a boatload of fun. And they've got, I don't remember exactly how many of these early enrollees that they've got already there, but there's a good bit of them that are already going through practice, and so that's a great experience for them. I'm not sure if they can go on the trip. I need to find that out. That would be I don't know how many people you can take on these trips. I don't know how many people you can afford to take on these trips after you get done with all the NIL stuff.
Yeah, really.
But, there's some other, Amari Jefferson, a wide receiver out of the Baylor School in Chattanooga. I really like him a lot. He's been shooting up the charts here. I think people are really catching on to, this kid's really, really good. I mean, I think he's like top 125 type player. But there's a bunch of good players on this particular class. It's not as good as the previous year's class numbers-wise. But if they were to do something like flip Edric Houston, who's also at Buford High School, which, by the way, I mean, the irony is, Georgia got Dylan Rill and they moved to Buford, and they've never had good luck with Buford players, it seems like. I mean, last year, Alabama got at least one good player out of Buford, and they've had some good luck out of that school before. Other schools have had some good luck out of Buford. It feels like that's the one place in Georgia that's very vulnerable to the Bulldogs. But I'm excited about this class. I really am. There's Arian Hampton still out there from Texas, sort of a burner athlete that can play safety. He can also play wide receiver, but I think Alabama likes him as a safety, and I think that's where his future is. Alabama just got a commitment yesterday from Jay Sean Ross out of the Kansas City area, who apparently has a wingspan of like 6'9", 6'10", but he's about 6'3". So he's got those real long freakazoid arms and sort of a fast edge guy. But he's trying to think. He reminds me a little bit of Ezekiel Knight, to go way back. Ezekiel Knight from the state of Alabama years ago, and he played wide receiver at Alabama at first. Then he moved over to defensive end, and I think he had to end up giving up football because of a medical issue. But he was sort of a freaky kind of player, and he was just hitting his stride when the medical issue came up. So I really like this class a lot. I think it has a chance if Edric Houston were to flip, if Aaron Hampton were to flip from Texas, and Favor Edwin were to commit, Alabama were to flip Kevin Riley, the running back out of Tuscaloosa, who's been committed to Miami for a long time, then I feel like they'd have a shot at the number one class. I mean, it's either number 2 or number 3, maybe number 4 on some services right now, depending on who you look at. But I think if they were to get those guys, they'd have a shot at the number one class again, which is not something I thought they'd have a shot at, 4 weeks ago.
What do you think about Perry Thompson? Do you think he ends up at Alabama?
No, I think Perry Thompson ends up at Auburn.
Okay.
I feel pretty good about Perry Thompson signing with Auburn.
All right. Well,
yeah.
That'll wrap it up. I think thanks for the Alabama Blitz.
Well, I mean, that seems about right. We're playing in the playoffs. Give us 5 minutes.
There you go.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good night.
Appreciate it. Dad, we got to take a break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more of Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Planting season is here, and the Potting Shed Garden Center is happy to give you professional landscaping advice when it comes to planting your shrubs and trees. Auburn's best kept secret will have it all this fall. Mums, pansies, pumpkins, and much more. All in an array of colors and sizes, along with beautiful pots and containers, indoor plants, and a great selection of other gardening gifts. It's all at the Potting Shed Garden Shop, where natural elements reign supreme. Located on the corner of Moore's Mill and Society Hill Road in Auburn.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Have you stopped by Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store lately? If you haven't, you should. You'll find great pieces for your favorite do-it-yourself project. Lightly used name brand clothing by Free People, North Face, Matilda Jane, Patagonia, and a whole lot more. And while you're there, don't miss the shoes, decorative pieces, classic and new books, and Auburn and Alabama gear that won't cost you a fortune. So stop and shop at Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store today for a unique thrift experience that won't break the budget. Lifesavers Mission Thrift, located on East University behind Zaxby's.
Lake Area Realty specializes in Lake Martin real estate. They can help simplify your next real estate purchase or sell, and have helped many home buyers and sellers through the area buy and sell real estate with precision. Lake Area Realty utilizes powerful marketing tools and knowledge of the lake to help you with your next move. Call your local hometown agency today, Lake Area Realty, at 256-825-4800. That's 256-825-4800. Lake Area Realty, helping you find your way home.
Hi, this is Andrew McGreer at Dunning Roofing. At Dunning Roofing, we specialize in high-quality, premium roofs. We don't build roofs that just meet code requirements. We build quality roofs with premium materials that significantly exceed our competitors' warranties. We put money on your roof, not in our pockets. If you're looking for a top-quality roof, call Dunning Roofing today for your free quote at 256-307-7601 or visit us at DunningRoofingAL.com for more information.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn. Yeah, might as well be the Auburn Blitz. I appreciate Luke filling us in on Alabama, but then we got another phone call. Let's try to go to it. Hey, caller, you're on Sports Blitz Live.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Good, James. How about you?
All right. Listen, Andy, y'all ain't on TV again. Y'all must have took it off TV now.
Well, they got some basketball games going on apparently on WOTM, so we're floating on YouTube and
I see it.
Facebook.
I see it on YouTube. But listen, Luke talking about he's scared, not scared, but we talking about how football, NCAA football done got to be, and it's a scary time, and the toothpaste is out there too. And I'm gonna tell you why it's out there too. When you hear transfer, the courts and the Congress done got involved and messed this game up. When you hear the courts now allowing people to transfer 2-3 times, what make you think that they ain't gonna be able to transfer anytime they want to?
That's number one. Number two, the courts got involved by paying the players, which you want to give them some money. I think they were getting $6,500 anyway a year from the school, but I don't know if they still getting that plus NIL money. So when the courts in there and Congress get involved, they done messed up the whole thing. And I'm gonna tell you why. When the NCAA president says trying to get this alignment going that the school can pay the football and the basketball team, the women's sport, you there?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, we're here.
Go ahead.
Okay, when the NCAA president trying to get the Power 5 conferences to be Power 5 conferences, and the team can pay their own players, then what the women's gonna do? If I'm the women's sports or any of the other sports, I'm gonna sue, so I can go to the court and win that. Now, and then this is the major one right here. What gonna happen when these players start going to the court by concussions? I done had 4 operations, and I'm disabled after my football career is over with. CTEs now, that stuff that the military have after all these hits to the head. They gonna be able to go to the courts and sue. So where's all this money gonna come from now that they done opened the can of worms that I can sue and go to the court and win at any cost now? So that gonna, with the CTEs and the concussions, that gonna let the NFL off, because we get more concussions at the college game and in high school. We think it's a little ding. We smell some salt. We go back in the game. So the NFL get us damaged good anyway. And they just taking the blame and paying people out because they in the NFL. But all this stuff started in high school and college with the CTEs and concussions. So I'm going to be able to sue after that. I'm going to be able to sue for operations that I have in college. All of this, no insurance after college. They're going to have to take care of me. And then I can transfer 3-4 times. And then this last one. What makes me think I can't stay in school 7-8 years and play football? I can sue and say, I'm in school, why can't I play?
Right.
But anyway, I just throwing that at you. I ain't gonna do this. Thank you.
Appreciate it, James, as always. Look, you made some good points. You can hang that up.
No,
he made some good points. It's.
No, I totally agree. You get government involved and start allowing, people to make decisions like that, you're going to get sue happy and go out there. And until there's something put into place, in my mind, by the government, by Congress, that says, just like the NFL has a structure, a rookie can only be paid so much. There's a structure, a team can only have so much of a payroll. That's the only way to even bottle this in, because right now it's the Wild Wild West, and whoever can write the biggest check, let's write it.
Well, the transfer portal is obviously a big part of it. Then having the one transfer, I'm fine with. Let them transfer one time. That's fine. But the unlimited transfer, that'll be even more of a nightmare. And I don't know. I'm not sure it could get a whole lot worse. I say that, but. Yeah, I guess you get unlimited.
I think I follow with you. Give me
year.
one chance. If I had a medical hardship, if I had something go on, I went to Georgia and I got there and it just ain't for me, and I thought it was. Yeah. Give me one chance to go somewhere else, but I don't need 5.
No. And Hugh Freeze makes a good point about the structure of it. Why is it a month? Give them 10, 15 days. Let them make up their mind and be done with it. You don't need an entire month to let these guys jump into the portal, and you got to wait to try to figure out how to fill out your roster. You don't know what positions you need.
That's right.
So everybody's kind of just scrambling for whatever. And let's be clear yet again. This is not what NIL was meant to be.
No.
NIL was meant to be kids capitalizing on, going out and signing deals, doing whatever being able to profit from their name, image, and likeness. It was not to be paid by the schools. They're not supposed to be on salary, although that is basically what is happening. So we're just getting a preview of what the NFL structure of college football is about to be.
Well, and this has been brought up by Deion Sanders early in the season on this NIL stuff. He said, really, you've already messed all this up because you're trying to pay these kids before they ever have a name, image, and likeness. He said, you're offering wide receivers, quarterbacks, millions of dollars to come play football. They've never played a down of college football. What if they bust? Are you still going to write them a check at the end of the year for the $2 million you promised them?
Yeah. And, how much do they make? I mean, what is the value? Is it overstated? Are we getting real numbers?
Right.
I mean, is Nebraska quarterback, Nebraska coach gets up and says, a transfer portal quarterback's going to cost you $1 or $2 million.
Right.
Is that accurate?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but it sounds about right.
In the model of like what you're talking about with the NFL, quarterbacks have a value and they know kind of what they're buying. In this, they don't have a value because I'm shopping him. I can't tell you that the same sponsors that would have sponsored him in Georgia are going to carry their sponsorship to Nebraska and sponsor him that same amount of money. There may be some Southern companies over here. I forgot what former quarterback here, Bo Nix, used to have sweet tea. What's the tea in this area? Milo's. Okay, if Milo's a Southern brand and they want to give him $1 million, well, Milo's not all of a sudden going to start selling sweet tea in Nebraska. That sponsorship, that's what I'm thinking this thing's out of skew, is you've give this kid a value, but a value on what? He's never threw a football in college.
Yeah, it's a fair point. Got to take another break. When we come back, we'll look at some of these bowl games and the rest of the show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
Have you met your local Farmers Insurance agent, Patrick Holina? He proudly serves Tallapoosa County and Alexander City families and businesses and is ready to review your existing policies or provide a no-obligation quote today. Call the Holina Agency at 256-234-0037 or stop in today at 704 Commerce Drive to get smarter about your insurance. Again, that's the Holina Agency, 256-234-0037.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
The food at Oscar's Cafe makes your mouth water. At Oscar's, enjoy great tasting catfish, or maybe you're just in the mood for one of Oscar's fresh salads. Even kids know the place for a fine meal is Oscar's with a great kids menu. Oscar's also has great tasting burgers full of backyard flavor. So come on out to Oscar's Cafe for great food and homegrown hospitality. We're located on Highway 49 South in Dadeville, just before the Blue Creek Bridge. And remember, it's all fun and games till there's only one cheese ball left.
Life is a sequence of little successes. The story of my Southern Union success began the day I walked on campus, making new friends, mastering a new skill, reaching a personal goal, the encore performance, the first date, the internship, and now, soon, the dream job. That's the story of my Southern Union success. Register for classes and get ready to watch your Southern Union story come to life.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro continues to excel in making sure our clients have a smooth and pleasant experience with home financing needs. Families are struggling to make ends meet due to price increases and high interest rates on credit cards. Monthly debt can cripple a family from enjoying the special times in life. Property values are holding strong, and now is the time to take advantage of the equity in your home, saving hundreds of dollars a month. No money out of pocket and no payment until January 2024. Call the Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro today.
Lake Area Realty specializes in Lake Martin real estate. They can help simplify your next real estate purchase or sell and have helped many home buyers and sellers through the area buy and sell real estate with precision. Lake Area Realty utilizes powerful marketing tools and knowledge of the lake to help you with your next move. Call your local hometown agency today. Lake Area Realty at 256-825-4800. That's 256-825-4800. Lake Area Realty, helping you find your way home.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Just a couple more segments left in tonight's show. Let's go back to the phone line. Hey, caller, you're on Sports Blitz Live.
Hey, it's me real quick. I was going to ask y'all that if I pay a guy $1 million to come to my school and he don't start or produce, do I still have to pay him or what? That's number one. Number two, the reason I brought up the court system a minute ago is because I've read and I saw where a guy is suing, 3 guys are suing the NCAA for name, image, and likeness. They trying to go back 5 years for players. That's why I'm saying they keep suing and they winning in court. They trying to get everything in court. They trying to sue for 5 years ago. From now back to 5 years. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it. Yeah, and Ole Miss has got a lawsuit against them. A guy had what was he? He said he had personal. He needed to take a personal, and Kiffin called him back, and they leaked the audio to it. I was on Kiffin's side,
Oh yeah.
But it's like everything else in life, it's the needs of the many are getting pushed aside by the needs of the one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not the way it should work. But I don't know. I can't figure it all out. I need somebody like Greg Sankey, that has a good handle on all these things. I wish he would get more involved in the broader NCAA part of it. Maybe we could get a couple of the smartest people together and figure it out finally and hammer it out and get some kind of constitution for the college football. That would be nice, but I don't foresee that happening, unfortunately. We'll see. Just some of these bowl games. Georgia Tech and Central Florida. That's a pretty good matchup. Interesting game.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned Troy and Duke.
Duke, yeah.
That one I'm kind of interested in watching as well. Any of these others strike your fancy?
No, not really. I mean, about like what people say, a bunch of meaningless, extra scrimmages.
Well, we were talking about that's what kind of bowl games are kind of becoming. And I'm fine. Some people say there's too many.
Yeah.
Why? Give me 5 more. Give me something to do on a mid-December day. Watch a bowl game. So
well,
I love college football.
You're giving whatever team. I don't agree with giving a team that didn't have a winning season in. I don't want to see a 5-6 or a 5-7, whatever they are.
Well, the company's going to put up. You're going to have a bowl. You got to put somebody
in there, and I just don't like that. But on the flip side of that is these teams that have had a decent season, you're rewarding them by having a bunch of extra practices. They're going to kind of get a spring start into spring, and basically like we were talking about off the air, is a lot of these guys are opting out. A lot of these guys are deciding whether they want to go to NFL, they want to hit the transfer portal, what do they want to do? So you're giving your younger guys, those freshmen and sophomores, like Luke was talking about earlier, somebody that may stay with the program, a chance to get out there and impress in that bowl game.
Yeah. You're going to get a preview of what next year's going to look like, more than likely.
And then that coach could hit that second portal window after he's seen the bowl and go, boy, I need to hit the window.
Yeah. That's true. Texas A&M, Oklahoma State. That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Texas A&M. I mean, who's going to be left to play that game?
Right.
And Oklahoma State, I don't know. I don't know what to even make of them. They're good enough to beat Oklahoma, but sorry enough to get blown out by South Alabama and everybody else, pretty much. But
yeah, that was kind of the questioning part. I started thinking over the projected bowl games of the big bowl games there at the end of the Texas-Washington matchup. If you really look at that conference, for Oklahoma to have beat Texas, Oklahoma hadn't really beat anybody else other than that, nor has Texas. So do you feel like Washington's more battle-tested, ready to, because they beat Oregon twice in tough conditions? They beat other people in the Pac-12 to get there? I mean, I can see.
Well, Texas did go to Alabama and win.
Well, but early.
That's a good.
Early. Yeah.
Well, early or late, it was still.
Right. But I understand that point.
Yeah.
They did beat them. But what I'm getting at is just the overall.
Oh, yeah.
If you beat Oregon once during the regular season, then you turn around and beat them in the championship, because Texas didn't even have a close championship game.
I agree. Yeah, Washington is definitely.
Washington has a chance. I give them that.
Yeah, Washington. That game is probably the most intriguing.
Yeah.
Of all of them.
I did see Saban's press conference the other day about their bowl game, and one of the local reporters in Tuscaloosa asked him. They said, "Do you see a problem with Alabama having to change their signals going into the bowl game?" And he said, "We don't get into that." He said, "We're going to use the same signals we've been using."
Well, when it comes down to it, I mean, I like to think back to the old conversation I had with a friend of mine. We always used to say, looking at that 1995 Nebraska team, I always kind of use that as an example and would say, they would come to the line of scrimmage. They were the kind of team that would say, okay, we're going to run it through this hole right here. Try to stop us.
There you go.
I mean, that, and if you're better than somebody, you just line up and beat them.
Well, that was one of the philosophies of when I was working at Auburn, that our offensive line, the coach at the time, Hugh Nall, he was actually on the offensive line for Herschel Walker at Georgia. And he said that was one of what their coaches taught them. I don't give a damn if they know what we're running. We're going to run it right there, and we're going to tell you we're going to run it right there. And I guess you can say that when you got a Herschel Walker.
Yeah, that's true for sure. Clemson, Kentucky.
Yeah.
In the Gator Bowl. Oh, it's Friday on the 29th.
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Clemson, had a resurgence mid-season, came on pretty strong there at the end. Kentucky had a nice win over Louisville to end the season. Missouri, Ohio State. Now that's a big-time opportunity for Missouri. They've had a great season. Ohio State, obviously, ending on that loss to Michigan, but they've had a good season. Their quarterback opts out. Who's going to start at quarterback for Ohio State? So I think that's a great chance. If Missouri wins that game, you talk about a burst of momentum into next year.
Right.
That's a big time opportunity for them.
Well, it obviously is not affecting Ohio State's recruiting any, because they're still number 2 in the country. So
this is true.
Yeah.
They always recruit well, for sure.
Now the portal king is right there under them in Ole Miss and Penn State.
And Ole Miss is continuing to exploit the portal better than anybody else.
That is one question that I wanted to appetize up to you, and you tell me if it doesn't look very fishy to you. That he is the only coach that's really dominating the portal, and most everybody he goes after, he gets. And it's like they enter the portal, and then they're already going to Ole Miss. You think somebody's kind of talking to them before they get in the portal?
I would imagine they are, no doubt. What do you think about Auburn and Maryland?
I liked it a lot better when the starting quarterback for Maryland ain't going to play.
That
helps.
That does help. Now, Auburn has made a career of backup quarterbacks coming in and playing extremely well against them. So we'll see what happens. But the guy coming in now, I think he's thrown 8 passes this year.
Yeah, that doesn't bode well with an SEC defense coming at you.
when you're missing your two corners, starting corners,
Yeah.
that's probably a good thing. Georgia, Florida State.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That's
Florida State, are they still sulking?
That's what I was about to say. That's going to be the one that who's motivated to actually play in the game.
I would imagine Georgia is.
Yes. I think Georgia, Kirby's a good enough coach. He's going to get them to go in there and prove a point.
Yeah.
And say, look, we should have been in the playoffs. We're going to beat you by 30.
Wisconsin and LSU with no Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, see, I think that's a
still
very low
think
scoring.
LSU.
I still think they win, but it's a low scoring game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about Liberty, Oregon?
Yeah.
I think Liberty will score on it.
The Fighting Hugh Freezes, he left a lot of talent down there at that place.
But Bo Nix is going to play in that one.
Well.
And I think Oregon's probably wins.
Oh, yeah.
Tennessee, Iowa.
Yeah. I think Tennessee's going to handle that one because what does Iowa average, like 6 points a game?
About that. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back. We'll run down these semifinal games, and then we'll call it a night. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hey, it's Brett Pritchard, and I'm here to tell you all about Sims Foods, who you know better as Wickles Pickles. Wickles Pickles, that 90-year-old recipe, wickedly delicious. Relish, okra, and pickles. From Saturday sandwiches, tailgate snacks, to holiday dinners with your family and friends. From their family to yours, Wickles Pickles, those wickedly delicious pickles.
Wickles Pickles, wickedly delicious pickles.
76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
This fall, nobody beats Martin's Sports Pub for Lake Martin's best sports experience. Martin's all-star lineup of cold beverages and pub fare food can't be beat. With the region's best wings, burgers, and signature dishes. At Martin's, you always have the best seat in the house for all college and NFL on our multiple 360-view TV and huge projection screen with surround sound. See our pigskin scoreboard weekly to win big money and let our all-pro teams serve it all to you at the place we all win. Martin's, Highway 34, Dadeville.
At Russell Medical, we're proud of our exceptional nurses, like Nurse Brandy Worthy. Brandy represents the selfless, compassionate clinical leader patients expect and coworkers admire. Brandy was recently honored with the Nightingale Award for Nursing Excellence for her high standards, sound judgment, and caring manner. Her passion for her profession inspires us all.
Being a nurse is not just what you do, it's who you are. I'm proud to be a part of the nursing team at Russell Medical. We are the link between all hospital services, providing you with exceptional, personalized care.
If you're tired of the same old, and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Main Street Family Care offers a wide array of services that allows them to treat many conditions, and they also offer primary care. In addition to these services, they also offer DOT physical exams, lab testing, sports physicals, and vaccines. They accept most major insurance plans, including Medicaid. Main Street Family Care, open 7 days a week.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live, the final segment of this Tuesday night. Andy and Jim taking you up to 9 o'clock. The semifinals, you got Michigan and Alabama. I think Alabama. I think Michigan's a really, really good team.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they run up against a little too much athleticism all across the board here
If
against Alabama.
If Milroe is healthy, he's the answer to the whole game because, as I've seen many publications already say, Michigan has not faced a mobile quarterback. That is always give Saban over years, a thorn in his side of facing the Johnny Manziels and the Cam Newtons now he's learned how to use those guys. And you roll him in and out of that pocket and move him around, I think he's going to give Michigan all the trouble they want.
Oh, yeah, I do too. Now, if Michigan, if they can establish the running game like Auburn did, I think they're in it, and it's a fourth quarter game.
I don't think it's a blowout, but I think Alabama wins.
Yeah. We'll see. Texas and Washington.
Yeah, who do you think?
I like Texas.
Yeah.
I think Texas and Alabama. I think we see a rematch.
A rematch.
Now, Washington will certainly have something to say about it, but Texas was playing some pretty doggone good football to the end of the season. So was Washington now.
Well, that's what I was about to say. You're looking at a top-tier quarterback there in Washington.
Quinn Ewers ain't bad.
Yeah, well, no, I'm not saying he's ugly. I'm just saying that you got their kid went to the Heisman up there and sat on the podium.
For a reason.
Not Pinkston. What's his name?
Penix.
Penix, yeah, with a P. I don't know. Something just keeps coming off the page at me about them that they're battle-tested. They've played, even though Texas played some good teams, it seems like Washington has had to overcome more, late-night games on the road, and they've done a lot of this impressive.
So you like Alabama and Washington?
Yeah, Alabama and Washington for the national title.
That'd be different.
It would
for sure. I see a rematch between Alabama and Texas. So that means it'll be Washington and Michigan, which will be very different.
Oh, gosh.
From anything we've seen.
I don't think they want Michigan and Washington to play in a championship because that's going to hurt their ratings.
Well, I don't care about ratings.
Oh, okay.
I want to see some different. I just like to see different guys up there and like to see good football. I don't care what it is. If it's Alabama and Washington, if it's Michigan and Texas, if it's Alabama and Texas or Michigan and Washington, I don't care. If it's a compelling game, I mean, last year was bad.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't care about rate. I don't care if it was bad for ratings. It was bad. I felt so sorry for TCU.
Well, I think that's where the committee already decided this time. They couldn't do it again and put a gimpy Florida State in there and get blown out by somebody. Not because Florida State's a bad team. They just, when you lose the main engine in your car, it's going to be hard to go down the road. Yeah. And just nothing against them. I think they earned it. They won all 13 games. They should have been there, but at the end of the day, when you're selling tickets and putting butts in the seats, they didn't want another TCU happening.
Yeah. Well, TCU didn't want that to happen again.
No.
For sure. Okay. Well, that'll pretty much wrap it up for us here on this edition of Sports Blitz Live. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. National Signing Day tomorrow should be a lot of fun. We'll see what happens with Auburn and Alabama. Brett and I will be doing the Auburn Blitz tomorrow. We will have, hopefully, Malcolm Simmons will be with us in studio after he signs at 10 o'clock, about the same time as a lot of other guys are planning to sign with Auburn. So it should be a lot of fun. Be sure to join us then, 12 to 1. I think it might not be on WOTM. You'll have to find it on YouTube or our Facebook page. That's Sports with AZ. So be sure to tune us in. For Jim Hardy, I'm Andy Graham saying so long for now, everybody. We'll talk again soon.
So you want to build a home? Build the home you want with America's Home Place. Choose from over 150 floor plans, then personalize. Tile backsplash with granite countertops? Done. A spacious bathroom you've always dreamed of? You got it. Choose every detail, floors, cabinets, even the paint color.
How about electric lime?
Can't decide? Relax. At America's Home Place, we take care of it all. It's your home. Own it. America's home place.
Truckloads of new and used models. Over 200 on the ground or on the way to Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Check out the powerful new Chevrolet Silverado 4-wheel drive crew cabs. Discounted up to $12,250 off. The best-selling and well-equipped new Chevrolet Equinox. Discounted up to $6,000 off. Enjoy no payments till springtime.
Get your best price every day at Glenn Smith Chevrolet on the lot or online at glennsmith.com. Get ready to smile.